Welcome to Desire. This time on Desire, we find out why the devil wears Prada. Paris celebrates an all-night arts extravaganza. We travel back in time on some very luxurious airplanes. And we can look but not touch the world's most expensive cigar. But first, this little gem is a 603 carat diamond. It's called the Lesotho Promise and named after the country in which it was found. It recently went under the hammer at the Antwerp Diamond Centre and was sold to the South African Diamond Corporation, owner of luxury jewellers Graff. The rough diamond was found at the Letseng diamond mine high in the mountains of the tiny nation which is surrounded by South Africa, by a woman who was sorting through the rocks.
The tender has been won by the South African Diamond Corporation, and the bid was $12,360,000 US.
The 10th largest white diamond ever to be found will be cut into one large diamond and several smaller stones, which will then be sold.
We tend to think that we're going to have a large heart shape coming out of this stone, plus numerous other large stones, and of course smaller satellite stones. The largest stone, we don't know yet the outcome, but we estimate it's going to be a historical stone.
Johnny Kneller from the South African Diamond Corporation said that once it was cut up, he expected to sell the stones for a third more than the auction price.
What we're going to do now is we're going to cut the diamond into pieces. We have to scan the stone for about 3 months. So it will take a long time to see what's exactly inside. And then we try to get the best possible certificate and the best possible diamond. So you can't say exactly the retail price. But we hope it's going to be over the 20 million.
The diamond sorters, a black woman, went into the room and put her hands into the glove box. And she opened up the compartment, and this jewel that you see over there fell out in front of her. As reported to me, she started screaming, and the rest of the staff thought she'd been electrocuted. And they ran in there to see if she was okay, to be confronted with the Lesotho Promise.
Diamonds, an iconic status symbol famously described in a song sung by Marilyn Monroe in the 1950s film Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, as a girl's best friend, have become enormously popular in recent years, especially as women have become wealthier. The biggest rough diamond ever found was the Cullinan at 3,106 carats, while the second largest, the Excelsior, was 995 carats. Both were found in South Africa, and both dwarf the Lesotho Promise at a mere 603 carats. Dubai is fast becoming a very desirable destination for art collectors and enthusiasts chasing the rare opportunity to own classic pieces of art. The United Arab Emirates is a tax-free country, and buying art in Dubai is a great incentive for collectors, as they will get more value for their money compared to purchases being made in London, for example, where the VAT tax would increase prices significantly. 13 pieces of original etchings, lithography and prints by Joan Miro, Pablo Picasso and Andy Warhol are currently on display at the Art Space Gallery. The price tags on the paintings range from $10,000 to $85,000 US. Art Space is a slick and modern gallery tucked away on the 9th floor of the luxurious Fairmont Hotel. It's run by 23-year-old Palestinian-Jordanian Maliha Al-Tabari, a painter and sculptor herself. In the short time since its open, the gallery has been host to a diverse array of contemporary and international artists. 7 exhibitions have taken place to date, including the works of Pakistani sculptor Armin Gulji, Iranian painter Fahad Moshiri, and Greek graphic designer Christopher Papadopoulos. One keen collector wasted no time in snapping up a Picasso.
La Chute de Carat is a piece by Pablo Picasso, and it's an etching. It was the first piece that was sold on the opening day.
La Chute de Carat was one of the last pieces Picasso etched before he died and was bought for $21,621 US. The Cubist master was a pioneer in the modern art era, and he's the only painter or sculptor to enjoy fame during his own lifetime. Spanish painter Joan Miró was a prolific artist of the Surrealist movement. The Art Space Gallery secured 3 of his works, including La Fronde and Le Sarrasin et l'Étoile Bleue. His Surrealist works, with their subjects drawn from memory and fantasy, are considered among the most original of the 20th century. His work before 1920 shows a wide range of influences, including the bright colours of the fauves, the broken forms of Cubism, and the flatness of Romanesque church frescoes. Miró also experimented with etchings and lithographs in the 1950s, working with watercolour, pastel and collage. He also painted on copper and masonite. There were also several works by the infamous godfather of pop art, Andy Warhol, including one of the well-known Marilyn prints, and shoes, a large screen print of various shoes covered with diamond dust. The exhibition is the most significant art event to date in the United Arab Emirates and Dubai. Around 500 people attended the opening for the Picasso, Miró and Warhol exhibition. On most days, the gallery is quiet, but walk-ins do happen on a daily basis, especially after working hours. Lack of culture and arts in Dubai is a common complaint among residents, and that's precisely why Al Tabari decided to open the gallery. Since Dubai is already a major business centre, Al Tabari thinks it's a great idea to open people's minds to the world of art as well.
Well, I think it's a great opportunity to have such a great exhibition of such great world-known artists here in Dubai. I know that it's the first time such a thing happened here. I've lived here for 8 years, like 15 years ago, and nothing like that happened here. So it's great that finally people are getting some more arts.
Coming up next, Prada. During her university years in the 1960s, the high priestess of Italian fashion, Miuccia Prada, was swept up by the European student revolution and its feminist battles, and her most recent show was true to her convictions. The jungle scene, superimposed on a city skyline projected on the wall of the refurbished Prada space, underlined the urban jungle feel of the collection and confirmed the designer's top spot in the fashion firmament. Young warrior women, head covered in knitted helmets and heavy-duty platform shoes on their feet, marched down the catwalk in hooded jackets, belted coats with fur arms, and dresses trimmed with patches of fur, as well as woolen bras worn on the outside of an outfit like a breastplate. Colours ranged from grey to charcoal to black. Prada is said to be the most prominent example of a new form of inward-directed luxury, the epitome of style and subtlety. Miuccia Prada, who's completely in control of the company's creative decisions, says she bases most of her decisions on intuition. And few would question the instincts of a woman who's credited with single-handedly launching the designer label into the haute couture stratosphere. Born in 1949, she's the granddaughter of Mario Prada, who founded the company as a manufacturer of leather bags in Milan in 1913. Despite her heritage, she was reluctant to enter the family business, being a fully paid-up member of the Communist Party and a champion of women's rights. But she was persuaded to take over the reins in 1978, after completing a PhD in political science. She proved her worth in 1985 by designing a new line of black, unlabeled, hard-wearing and finely woven nylon handbags that found their way onto the shoulders of the fashion cognoscenti and into the wardrobes of Jerry Hall and Marie Helvin. Priced at over $500 a piece, the bags quickly spawned a counterfeit industry, which made the real thing even more desirable. Her first big catwalk triumph came with her autumn-winter collection in 1989. The simple lines of her designs jumped out from the overly sexual designs of other major designers, and one fashion journalist attempted to define the new style by describing Prada's clothes as uniforms for the slightly disenfranchised. In 1992, she debuted the less expensive bridge line Miu Miu, which is Miuccia's nickname. Inspired by her personal wardrobe of earthier, hippie-ish garments in natural fabrics and colours. Clean and stylish designs, fine materials and exquisite craftsmanship conspired to win Prada a Council of Fashion Designers of America International Award in 1993. A year later, she showed in New York for the first time and opened her London boutique. She now shows for Prada and Miu Miu twice a year in Milan. As well as making ground in menswear, she's created ethereal Oscar gowns for the likes of Uma Thurman and is reported to be overly fussy about each detail of her design. But what many fashion journalists believe sets her apart from the rest of her peers is her disregard for the rules of fashion. And while most designers will choose to design with materials they like, Prada will often choose a colour such as turquoise that she despises, just to feel the rush she gets out of designing something beautiful from it. Famously private, she has few celebrity friends and lives in the apartment she grew up in, but she never fails to impress with each season's collection. Julie Gilhart, the fashion director of Barney's, recently issued this warning to aspiring fashionistas. If you want to know what a season is about, you don't miss the Prada show. Cruise liner which set sail in April 1912 from Southampton, never to arrive at its destination, New York. A massive collision with an iceberg left the supposedly unsinkable ship floundering in the icy seas, killing 1,409